What's happening? What is this? Hey man, being self-aware is part of the key. Being self-aware, being self-critical, analyzing self, being able to analyze self, being able to having the ability to critique ourself. You know what I mean? That, hey man, that makes all the difference in the world. That's a big difference right there from someone that analyzes itself and your actions and your words and your intentions, and someone that's just going through life doing whatever willy-nilly, not giving a damn. Because intentional or unintentional, our words and actions and all of that, they do have consequences. So I'm saying that to say, sometimes we may be in a situation and we think we're right, and we may act accordingly because we think we're right, because we believe we're right. And when we look back and when we analyze or whatever, we realize we're wrong. It may be rare, but it happens. But when we realize we're wrong, we admit we're wrong. We don't just hold on to that. We admit it. And we act accordingly and adjust accordingly. Right? However, it's the same thing. Like when you're right, you're right. As is said by someone wiser than me, even when you're in the minority of one, you got to stand your ground and know through the self-analyzing and all of that, know that you're right. You know, you got to know, you got to do that. But when you're right, man. It doesn't make no sense to go along with stupidity for stupidity's sake. I can't do it. That's what puts me in a lot of aloneness. The religion, the politics, a lot of things, a lot of the go along game or go along gangs. It's all kind of gangs. It's gangs and organizations you be a part of. No, there probably aren't any meetings or anything official. Some yes, most no. They don't have no family meetings for their ignorance. That shit, they just have agreements and, looks and shit. It's an understanding. You taught that from young, and either you go with the program or you don't. You always got to go with it a little bit. I mean, how you gonna be 5 and it's on, 5 and 6, and we know what I mean. Whatever those ages are, it's only so much you can rebel. You got to go along, cause you're 5, man. It's just hurtful, honestly. It's amazing. It's both amazing and hurtful that people would rather just cut ties with you than, well, you can't change nobody. They got to change themselves. But they would rather hold on to ignorance and stupidity to be able to come with you and dump a bunch of negative bullshit on you about someone. Yeah, my mama talking about my father. That's right. Constantly dogging him out. And yet he may not be perfect. No doubt about that. But man, come on. I think as the motherfucker told me, she don't deserve that. He don't deserve that. He have his flaws, but yours overshadow so much. It's sort of hard to recognize his, and they're there. But you so overpowering, and you got to prove that he's such a bad person Every time I talk to you, you got to tell me that. We ain't got to talk that much. Do you really? That's the ground you're going to stand on. Well, I think it's that, and it's various reasons. We just don't see eye to eye. And I had a, a friend of mine recently was telling me about how them and which I'm just assuming, I don't know this person that well, to tell you the truth, but I'm assuming that they're the golden child because she was saying to me, or they were saying to me that her and her mama, or her mama be saying like, "Oh Lord, this your sister," blah blah blah. And like they don't get along. I don't like what she say, how she say it. They just don't have the right philosophies or whatever. You know how that is. So, but I'm thinking 9 times out of 10, if she's talking about it with you, and you are also a child, you are probably the golden child. You're the one that, you know how it go. So, with that said, thinking about myself, and I'm sharing it, so I'm thinking about y'all too. Like, anyone with at least, I only have one sibling. So you got to figure that it was a conversation. I never thought about that. That's probably a conversation a lot of times that them, when your ears be burning, your mama talking about you to your sibling. You know what I mean? Who knew? I never even thought about it. Yeah, it makes so much, it's so obvious, And that's just like other people. It's like when you walk in a room and the room get quiet, Before you walk in, you walk in the room. What you think? What you think that is? Why is that? Huh? And a lot of people can't really look you in the eye. They can't look at you. It's just a certain odd way they have of dealing with you. Your people that I would assume you don't know well. Maybe people you know well. Maybe people just can't look you in the eye. They know you see through them, or they think you see through them. They always, and that's probably true. And then they always be, probably always, mostly, that's what they do. Instead of getting in their business and digging down and handling whatever it is they need to handle with their life and their family and their soul and shortcomings and things, and dealing with their issues with their mother and father, whatever. They talk about people. They talk about us. How he doing that? I know he ain't gonna be able to keep that. How long that's gonna last? Ha 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 ha. And all that shit. We just joke and we keep proving their ass. Okay, now what? Now what? You know? Things is looking how. And as I say, it's all mindset, man. It's all mindset, right? Because that dude and many other dudes, I got stories and examples out the ass, out the yin yang. That dude won $10 million, which of that, if he got the lump sum thing, say he had $4 million, $3 million. That's a lot, man. Look, it's a lot of different amounts of money, 100,000, 500,000, 200,000. You could do a lot of damage with it. You could multiply that like crazy. There's people that took $10,000 or $1,000, $1,200 and turned it into millions. So, man, if I got millions, I'm gonna turn that shit in. That's a done deal. That's a wrap. Or you could piss it off. Kick your fat old lady to the curb and get your new young hottie with the body and squander and spend it all off on, friends, impressing people, this, that, the other, just buying a bunch of shit you don't need because you got the money. And hey, I understand the temptation. I would do some of that, definitely. But you got to know your limitations. You think that money is $1 billion or $1 trillion. Man, make investments, get property and stuff. I would keep doing what that's why you got to be on track. Before when something fortunate do come your way, you know what to do and you're able to do it. You don't fuck up like that dude and end up in jail for life and you won the fucking lottery. You're the luckiest unlucky person in the world. And somehow, some way, seriously, this boils back to what I'm saying in the beginning, yeah. You know, because you don't know yourself, low self-esteem, you ain't doing the work. You think this young girl is gonna make you look a certain way. Surprised you ain't get a young white girl fuck. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But the point is, that's my point. You can have all that money and still mess up now. So it's not about having tons and tons of money. It's not about having millions of dollars. It's about your mindset. You'll get there either way it goes. You'll get there. It's only so much we need anyhow, man. It's only so many rooms you could sleep in. It's only so many bathrooms you could use. Does it? Some things make sense and some things don't make sense. Now me, if I was gonna get, I ain't gonna say I wouldn't get a mansion, but well, man, look, we do what we want to do, but you got to be investing in money and making it work. You got to realize you got to be making money. The money don't last forever, and money be losing value all the time. So you got to be making it to be able to keep up and maintain these different type of lifestyles like that. Don't be crazy. I'm checking out. It's all kind of things. There go a turtle. Fucking bird over there doing some shit. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked with that story. The point is, it ain't about having money that you just so lucky or whatever. We doing it because we handling our business. Things working out because we handling our business. We doing what needs to be done. Otherwise, it wouldn't be working out. We be fucking up. We be locked up or broke or whatever, or a lot of things. Locked up and broke. That's just facts. Shit don't just work. It don't work itself. That stray ass dogs over there cooling off. If you see them. Okay, so man, I do my best to make them short. I'm aiming for like about 6-7 minutes. Just I suppose if I edit it, it would be about that. You know, just meaty material without any fluff, any and all that shit. So sorry about that. These are my impromptus here, unedited mostly. So sadly, no matter how short or long or whatever it is, without the right title and the right thumbnail or something, ain't nobody barely gonna see it, but y'all faithful few. I appreciate you. And I'm gonna chop this one off here, okay? And I'm out. More later. Peace.